now.
I know, with your earphones on and everything.
Yeah.
Is that for all the people around? Can't hear
you. Yeah. All my friends, me, myself, and I.
Right, we are live on Facebook in the group.
Yay! Welcome. Hi everyone.
Hello. Let's wait for a couple of people to come out. Just what I'll do is I'll just get it on my phone because I usually get the questions that way. You all right?
Yeah, Amanda? That's a good idea, actually. Yes, I'm not too bad. I've had quite a uplifting week with my clients.
Good.
Week.
Why is that ironic, eh?
It's ironic because of the times.
Yeah.
But also because at the moment I'm finding that a lot of my clients we're working through, we're honouring the tough stuff as we've talked about, we kind of don't dishonour that, we honour that throughout the sessions, but I'm finding that towards the end, at the moment, people are kind of needing that uplift. There's ways of keeping positive at the moment, and so we've been actually discussing this, why the sessions have been quite uplifting, because we've been laughing quite a lot, because I've been getting to everybody to encourage, to think about things that make them laugh. Laughter's brilliant for us, as we've talked about in the past, while you're laughing, you can't be down, and, and it just helps. And you can't say this isn't an awful situation we're going through, but if we keep doing things like this, it can help. So anyway, we've been talking about humour and the importance. We've been going over, oh, sorry, that was my charger. We've been going over some just certain like box sets that make you laugh, some comedians, and what we've done is, because we've been talking a lot about structuring your day as well, we've been actually structuring in a bit of uplifting time, because otherwise we go through the day and we forget, we just don't do it, and then you're on to the next thing. So
watching comedy stuff.
So what we've done is, like, for instance, with one of our clients, we did we're going to have breaks from whatever we're doing, whether that's break from your work, break from your just whatever you're doing with your kids or whatever. You're just going to have say a set time, 11:15, that's your time. You're going to go on YouTube, and for 10-15 minutes you're going to watch your favorite comedian. And then you do the same in the afternoon about 3:30, another uplift, right? I'm going to watch that. And then we was discussing at night about what things to watch, certain movies, or we've been talking about things that you used to find funny, because sometimes there might not be anything now that you find that humorous, so you think, right, go on Netflix or whatever and look for the old box sets that you did like. A lot of people like Friends, that's uplifting. We've talked about Alan Partridge. I was a huge Alan Partridge fan when I was younger. Harry Enfield, whatever works for people. It's different strokes for different folks, isn't it? So, but I would definitely, if there's a way to start this session, is I would encourage everyone to start listing down the comedians. Who are the favourite top comedians that make them absolutely belly laugh, and watch them twice daily for like 10-15 minutes.
So who are yours then?
Oh, well, you see, this is the thing. This is what made one of my clients laugh the most, actually, me trying to do an impression of this guy, and I've lost his name again. And I go, the one that does and he goes, going out, we're going out. What's his name?
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
I think so.
I hope that's not the worst impression, but he's the one that he does. He's a Londoner, and he goes going out, and he's got like longish kind of hair. He's really funny.
Well, if anyone's watching
somebody please save me on the live and put his name in the comments box below, because now I just feel horrendous. It's like when you say that joke and nobody gets it. Please tell me his name.
Who else is your favourite?
Who would it be? Oh, I like Michael McIntyre.
Yeah.
Jason Manford.
Yeah. Big fan of Michael McIntyre.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
Tell you what we've been watching when we've wanted to watch something funny is we've been watching clips of Ant and Dec's Saturday Night Takeaway, where they go in people's ears and tell them what to say.
It's brilliant, isn't it? Yeah. I love anything like that. It's hilarious. But, it does uplift us. So anything that we can do at the moment that's keeping our spirits lifted and humour, do it. Even if it's that, just have a conversation tonight with people in the house or your friends on the phone, and just talk about your favourite comedians. It's going to make you laugh anyway. As soon as I think of Peter Kay doing his biscuit thing, what is it? Do you remember? Hobnobs.
Oh yeah.
Somebody's going to go, no, I don't get that, Amanda. Again, look it up on Google. Just Google him. Peter Kay, Hobnobs.
No one's put a comment yet as to who the guy saying out is.
Oh gosh, it's really going to get me now. Somebody will.
Mickey Flanagan. Is that it?
That's it.
Graham got that. Yeah.
Thanks, Graham. You've saved me. I've not gone down like the lead balloon.
I reckon he Googled it 100%.
Yeah. But hey, thank you.
Because now it's
away. Yeah.
Well, we know Graham's watching, so hopefully if he wants to start us off with a question, as in we've spoke about what said we'd cover 3 points on each topic regarding mental well-being during this time. Someone has already spoke about kind of frequency of snacking. So we said we'd try and help as much as we can with that. Is there anything, anyone else who's watching and has got a point to want us to discuss in terms of mental health well-being? Is there anything we can help with? Myself or Amanda, Amanda, the life coach, she helps with your mental well-being. She's got some really great techniques for everything that you need, or I've got a bit of life experience in making sure people are staying healthy and staying positive, so we can always help that way as well. So if anyone's got anything that we want us to discover, or 3 points, or you think I'm coping well, but I could really do with an uplift in this area, then that's what we're here for. But should we start with the question that was initially asked? I think it was by Kay.
Kay Houston, I think.
About snacking, where I think you've written a few things down.
Yeah, I just got my brain going this morning when I saw that pop up, and I thought, well, the first question, because a lot of people, by the way, are struggling in this case, so don't worry, you're not on your own. There's so many people going, I've got this time now, and the snacks are in the house, and it's just so easy. I know this, but I know she stated that the routines are now out the window. There's lack of access to shops, yes, and then that's turned into the snacking on the rubbish. But the first question that I would always say is, and to ask people to think about first is, what is the payback that you're getting from that behavior? So what is the payback? What are the gains? What are you benefiting, or what do you aim to benefit from that? For some people, it might be, well, it makes me feel better. For that moment, it just makes me feel better. Some people, it's to fill time because they're bored. And others to bring comfort. It's kind of like we all know we go back to our comfort foods, don't we? We used to do it when we were little, and it's a habit that kind of can sneak back in when we're feeling a bit vulnerable, which a lot of us are right now. So it might be that. And it might just be a distraction. When all else fails, it's like, I'm just going to make myself go there and distract myself making some food and having that. There's reasons. So, but the first question is always, well, what's your why? What are you expecting to gain from that? What does it give you? What's your payback? What does it give you? Because then that gives us a clue what you're trying to achieve from it. Because sometimes that helps us to connect with the feeling, because say, for instance, you want to feel better by eating that food, then obviously you're feeling sad. Why are you feeling sad? And then we chase that emotion. Why are you feeling? So why do you want to feel better? Why does food make you feel better? Why do you want to feel better? Because I feel sad. Well, why do you feel sad? Because of this whole situation. And then you can get to, well, actually, what else can uplift me other than, what else can make me feel better other than food? And then we can, so I hope that helps by first off asking that question, because that gives you a clue. But then there might also be an underlying limited belief there sometimes, which is a deeper thing, which if you want a session with me on that, then remember you can book in. But it might be, that you're thinking, all out the window now, all that exercise. And I know a lot of people have been saying this, all that exercise, all that hard work, well, it's gone now. I may as well just eat the whole tub of biscuits.
And I suppose from a trainer and a coach point of view, that's not obviously the right way to look at it, because there's the calories in versus calories out, and there's various methods that you can do to restrict overeating, and including, tracking your calories and, setting a goal, which we can always help with, but also, and there's intermittent fasting or time restricted eating. And it's important to know the difference between the two, and what you're doing in terms of helping you with that kind of calorie goal. And then, if you add that intermittent fasting or time restricted eating and your calorie tracking together, then you're already kind of, taking care of that nutrition aspect. So mentally, you're focusing on it a little bit better. And there's a lot of hard work that you guys can do in terms of nutrition to kind of help cut that out, but also, not to punish yourself too much for having the odd biscuit or having the odd, when you do snack, as long as you're not over snacking, there's no problem at all in, factoring it into your daily calories. But what I will say is a lot of people, they go into this method where they restrict their calories so much because they ate so much bad food the day before. And, my advice is that's not the right thing to do at all. What you want to do is, if you eat a lot of calories the day before, there's no point like starving yourself till 2:00 the next day. Just have your first meal as usual and get back on it. And if you're up in your neats, which is your kind of daily activity, and you're up in that kind of thing, then by all means, you're already on the right path. And a lot of people are working out probably a little bit more than they were before. So you've probably got a bit of leeway in terms of what you can eat and when you can eat. And if you find yourself constantly going to that cupboard and that snack cupboard, then should that cupboard be a major role in your house?
I've kind of put that in my thing. It's like, you've got to, so there are actually a few practical tips. Do you want me to go over the practical bits?
Yeah.
Yeah. So going back to, and it does link back, that's why I said asking that question, like, what is my payback for this? When you get that answer, so say it is, well, I want to feel better or I want to fill my time, then you can make a plan to do other things that fill that time or to make you feel better other than the food. So then when you go for that snack or whatever, and you're doing that, you think, oh, hang on a minute, let me just look at, right, I could go and do that for a bit, or I could, do this instead, or do that. And then you've got a plan to come back to, but you'll only know the answer as to why you keep reaching for that food. So if it is for distraction, then go back to, right, okay, so it's distraction. What else can help me? When I want to be distracted, what could I do? Well, I could do some mindfulness activities. I could do some craft. I could go out in the garden and do some gardening. I could phone a friend, whatever you need to do as another distraction.
Yeah.
But then practical wise, so, I did touch upon limited beliefs there, but that's deeper stuff. And I know we can't go there in a live. But if somebody did think, I'm doing it because I don't feel good enough, because I feel I'm a failure, then that's different. And you can get in touch and we'll shift that in a session. I'll try to shift it in sessions. Yeah, but on a surface level, if we want some practical tools, which I think Kay probably does, it's ask that question, then also plan your shop. So I know you say you're limited to these stores, but all stores still have your healthy options. They do. They still have your fruit and veg section. You can still make healthier choices. So plan it beforehand. Get in those nuts, fruits, protein, as you'll probably advise here, Rob. The healthier snacks that are going to keep you fuller for longer. So having the chicken breast or a handful of nuts, things like this. Healthy, there's still healthy options to snack on, so get them in. And then if you do have that tub of biscuits or whatever, or we appreciate that you're with a family, so you have to have them in for the kids, put them in a specific box, and then you put them in a specific cupboard, and you logically then you're thinking, that's for the kids and that's in that cupboard. It's compartmentalizing it, because it's more of a conscious effort then to go in that cupboard and purposely take off the lid and go. It's like, no, that's the treat things, that's for the kids, or it's for the weekends, however you want to work with it. But do that, set it in a certain space. Or if you're on your own and you don't want to snack on them things, don't get them in. Don't get them in. So that was one thing. A really good one. Now I've used this and I did it with a dry January and it worked. Okay. Right. What I did is I wrote a list of all the cons. So what is the cost of And mine was, you know, obviously doing not having alcohol. So what are the bad things to me about that I experience when I have alcohol?
Yeah.
So what is it? So never mind what are the benefits. It's like, what are the cons of this? What is the cost to me? So like, say for instance, it is the, you know, what are the cons to eating the unhealthy snacks? I would list it. I listed mine in my phone, so then it's easy. I had a list of the costs. But if it was unhealthy snacks, you'd put, you know, it makes me feel bad. It moves me further away from my goal. It hinders my sleep because of it might be sugar rush, you know, so you're getting spikes in your sleep as well, so you're not sleeping well. You are putting on weight, or you're feeling not good in yourself. Yeah, it's giving you, some people that get heartburn, whatever. But what are the costs to eating that? And if you list it, like, and really list it, everything that you feel, everything that you think, put that list in your phone, and then when you get that, I'm just going to go in the kitchen and grab that biscuit. I've got hobnobs on the mind now because I'm talking about PTK. But if you go in to get that snack, then just have a look at that list and remind yourself of what you are going to feel if you have it. And it's quite a powerful one, that, because you've written those words, nobody else has. And that is truth staring at you. So you're then making a conscious choice. I'm looking at that. That's how I'm going to feel. So why would you choose to do it? It's like a no-brainer, isn't it? And that's what helped me with the dry January.
Yeah.
I've not got a dry March or April.
No, yeah. I continued it till I actually had a dry year until we got put into lockdown. Then I had my first drink this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Bless you.
Yeah, and as well, what I would say is another, I think because we've done two now, haven't we? We've done the 2 tips as to what would help. The last thing that I would say would be, I found myself tracking the calories for the bad food that I was eating throughout the day. So I track all my calories. You've got the time to learn to track it now. I've got a little PDF if anyone's watching and they want to be able to use that. And I mean, I put that together myself. It's like a how-to track your food. So drop a comment in if you do want that little guide that I've done. What I will say is I then worked out how many calories I was having of bad food and subbed it in for either another meal or another meal/snack. So it might have been like 500 calories, for example, if I was having a chocolate bar and a bag of sweets. And then that could have been I made it so it was a protein and veg meal. And protein has got a natural satiety to make you feel fuller for longer. So again, after that, it's like when you crave really bad food. If you actually crave bad food, by the time you've ordered it, it's come to your house, you could have made yourself a much healthier meal and be fuller. And when it gets there, you won't be hungry for that. So that instant, again, gratification that, yes, you might feel great because you really crave this food and you eat it and then you feel crap straight away.
Yeah.
It's, the long-term effect of actually feeling good, it's not an instant gratification, but it builds up over time. And that's the kind of, can you live with a bit of short-term, not pain, but short-term not having that instant gratification for long-term feeling really good about yourself.
That's the one. It's always about the long-term gain, isn't it?
Yeah.
Short-term pain for long-term gain.
Yeah, and that's what I always recommend to people is think about that long-term. Nothing. One of my friends actually came up with a comment once, and he said nothing tastes as good as being healthy feels. So
yeah, definitely. And also as well with foods, and if you're thinking, sometimes you get confused and you think you're hungry because you're bored, but it's just something to do. So actually a lot of people find, I don't know whether you've found this with your clients, Rob, but they're actually just thirsty. Go and have a drink. Go and have a drink and just make a habit of doing that. Just have a brew or a glass of water or something, and you'll find that actually you wasn't really hungry. You just thought you were bored. Maybe it'll fill a gap and I'll just go and do that, but you're not actually that hungry. So try a drink first.
Yeah, cool. So that was the point covered really well. So thanks for that from Kay, the question before.
Yeah, thank you, Kay. I hope that's helped.
What you're doing about snacking, and is that something that you're struggling with during this time? A lot of people are maybe using this time as a bit of downtime to be able to have the more food that they wouldn't be able to eat when life is, without the societal pressures, and they're kind of hidden away from everyone else. So they're using this time. which again, don't put too much pressure on yourself to always be healthy and things like that. So you've got this time to kind of negate from your day-to-day lifestyle. Is there anyone with any other questions before we move on to our next topic, which I'm sure I've got a good question for Amanda in terms of 3 things that I'm sure she'll be able to help with. But has anyone watching got a question where they think, I'm actually struggling mentally or physically during COVID lockdown? Is there something that we can help with? Then let us know. You're nervous for the question now, aren't you?
I know, yeah. But what I do want to say as well is if anybody, while we wait for any questions to pop up, there's been a cancellation straight after this session. So if anybody would like that session, then let us know. Either send me an email, a text, or whatever, or connect with Rob. But we can have a session. Or if somebody just wants a general chat, they're just feeling a bit down and they just want a bit of an uplift, that's what I'm here for, to support you in whatever way. Or if you've got somebody in the household, maybe one of your teenagers that are struggling and you're kind of thinking, we've said all we can, can you maybe help with this? Then, that's what I'm here for. While we've got that free time, we've got 1 slot after this session. So if anybody would want that. If not, then I'll just devise some great content, hopefully, for you and put it out on, I'll do my next little video for you and pop them. Cool. Hopefully they've been helpful. Did I put one on this week? I did, didn't I?
I think you did, yeah. And the sessions with Amanda are always included in your membership on a Thursday. So, if you are watching from this group, which I'm sure a few of you are, then you've got that opportunity to connect with Amanda that way. So no questions in. So I was just thinking, obviously you've got a lot of clients at the moment who are kind of reaching out and connecting with you via the internet as to try and manage their emotions. But is there 3 things that you could recommend which will kind of help you get to the bottom of what you are feeling? So if, for example, if you're feeling a little bit down about things, is it caused by anxiety, and how can you kind of, what are the kind of coping mechanisms to do with that? So for example, if I'm feeling like I can't get out of bed in the morning, is there something lying down, like deep lying, that I can kind of go to and think, actually, it's because of this and I can do this for it?
Yeah, I think it's probably about exploring that, the thought behind that feeling. So, like you say, you're feeling tired, you're feeling lethargic, but the thought being, oh God, I just can't be bothered today. Explore that thought and feeling. So where does that come from? There's a couple of ways to do this. I have got a little thing in my file actually, which I could maybe, if anybody's interested, I could go over the set questions. I don't want to jump off now and go and grab it, but I can. It's just but it's
grab it.
Right, 1 second.
So yeah, if anyone does have any questions and they still want to chime in with them, Amanda's just gone to get a file to talk about how you can explore a thought or feeling that you've probably not had before, or that you're wanting to get to the bottom of why you're like it. I know a lot of people put a bit of pressure on themselves and to do stuff, but again, that's not the thing that you want to do all the time. But yeah, she's back.
Yeah. I'm here. So yeah, as you can see, my mansion isn't that big.
Which is onto the West Wing then, yeah.
Yes. So yeah, I call it like this. It's a little one like this. If anybody wants this, let me know, because I'll just ping it through. It's got the questions on. So when you're struggling sometimes, you think explore the thought. So the thought being, like you just gave an example then of, I'm tired, I can't be bothered. Yeah. So where has this thought come from? That's the first question. Where does this thought come from? It's like, well, I'm feeling a bit down, okay, why is the next question. So why are you feeling like that? There might be a reason. I did Rob and Cara's workout. I then did Greg's lean mean machine one. I then did Cara's abs. There's probably a reason why you're tired. But it might be that you're not, but you've had a really bad night's sleep. So do you know what I mean? There'll be a why. So then you explore this why, and then it goes on to, where's the evidence to support this thought? So the thought being, what was it then? That I'm tired, I can't be bothered.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So where's the pure evidence that you can't be bothered? I just want to lie in bed. Okay. Where's the evidence for this? I just want to lie in bed. Where's the evidence against this thought? Well, actually, I had energy yesterday. I've been able to get up and about most days. I've not stayed in bed any day. Do you know what I mean? And you start then picking yourself up a bit with the evidence against it. And then when have you not felt like this? Well, I didn't feel like this the other day when I was having fun with my kids, or when I was having a conversation with such and such a body, and when I'd eaten this, this, and this. It gives you clues, you know. And then the final one, is there anything I can do about this? And then you can write a plan of action yourself. And that gives you, I can get up, I can make myself a healthy smoothie. I can pick myself up by watching, I don't know, Ruth and Eamon on This Morning, whatever you watch at the moment. And then, you know, but within that, you've kind of rationalized it all. You've given yourself a bit of leniency because there probably is a reason why you're feeling like that. And you've honored that feeling as well.
Yeah.
But I think the important question in that as well that I really like is, when have you not felt like this? Because that gives you evidence that this isn't you, you know, all the time.
Yeah.
You haven't always felt like that. And to actually seek for that evidence, it helps you in that moment.
That's a really good technique. Yeah, really good. Thanks for sharing.
So, and you'll find that emotion then, because you've rationalized the thought and you've worked through it, the connected emotions then start to dissipate.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, there's some helpful ones for exploring that thought and feeling.
Really cool. Really cool. So that's the second kind of point covered with us. So on to the third. I have obviously another thing to ask, but there's a few people joining in. Is there anything you want to know from what Amanda's saying in terms of, is there any thing how you want to keep positive? Is there anything, you know, there might be a really deep question that you've got. It might be like, how do I stay happy, or anything like that, you know.
Just shoot it, ask it. That's what I'm here for.
Ask us away.
While we're waiting for anybody, if nobody's asked a question yet as well, I've got an idea as well. It was via a friend of mine. She's very into books and things at the moment. She's got a lovely heart as well. And she was talking about, we were talking about how children are struggling at the moment.
Yeah.
And I've got a link, and I was going to share it, ask you actually if you wanted to, I'll share it for the group, because I know there's a lot of families that are struggling with the children's emotions at this time, and about explaining what's going on. And the book is by, I forgot his name now. I'm bad with names. Alec, is it Alec something? He wrote the Gruffalo, the author.
Oh,
the
right.
author of the Gruffalo. So this is a book for primary age children. But it's called Coronavirus for Children. And it's a book that you can, and it's free. It's a free download. So I've got the link anyway.
Yeah, drop it in the group, definitely, or in the comments here. That's really cool, yeah.
Yeah, I'll put it as a little post for the children if you want, and then people might, because if they didn't watch this, they might lose it. So I'll just pop it on the page with a picture of the book. But I thought that might be helpful for parents to read through it with the kids. If you've got any of those that are constantly asking questions, if they were, I'm sure they are now. Why?
Yeah, of course, why just staying again to understand what's going on, I suppose. Okay, so I was wondering, just three of your top tips on how to stay positive during this time. Because I know you've got like kind of a bank of all tools and things like that, but what's the three go-to tips that you say that you would advise for everyone watching as how to stay positive during the lockdown time, where there's so many uncertain things, including the economy, including your job, but including health and well-being? And what's your three best things that you would recommend?
It would, I bore myself with this one now, but it's always got to be, and it's truth, it's gratitude. Yeah. You've got to go for gratitude first. What are you grateful for now? I know whatever's going on is not good, and there's many things out of our control. However, there's still so much things to be grateful for. Like look at the weather. If we was all in lockdown now, as we know, in like winter, oh God, it'd be awful. And then you're having to go out for your daily exercise in freezing. You know, you're going out, you're looking at the blooms, it's beautiful. It's also on these, I'm grateful at the moment when I'm even on my walks. I've been taking out, I used to listen to a lot of podcasts on my walks. I take that out now a lot and just take in the sound because there's not as many cars. I know it sounds a bit twee, but you can hear the birds more. You can hear like the water in the river, and you know, it's lovely. Sorry, go on.
Isn't it amazing all the kind of less pollution stuff that you see in the news and stuff like that, the cool stuff that's going on? Well, that's really cool to see. Yeah.
So gratitude is always that one, and I've talked about different strategies about doing that. You know, the gratitude, 3 things you're grateful for in the morning. You can write a gratitude list. You can just think of things. I think also adding on to that, what a nice way of displaying gratitude as well, which makes you feel good and keeps you positive. And I've started to practice this, and it is sending an email once a week to somebody you want to express gratitude to.
Cool.
Yeah, and honestly, it's such a good mood lifter because you're obviously in that moment, you're grateful for that person. You're then expressing it to them. You know, why are you grateful for them? What did they add to your life at that time? And it could have been from somebody, you know, like an old school teacher or, you know, a family friend or just an old friend, whatever. And you just write exactly an old work colleague, what they brought into your life, because nobody ever knows really what impact they have on somebody.
No,
and it's nice to share that because they'd never know if you didn't. So that's a good mood uplifter and a gratitude, but also it's a benefit for somebody else. So that's a nice one. Always, like you just mentioned then. So that was number 1 is gratitude. Number 2 is keep searching for the positives, because we know that we're going to get fed inadvertently. We're not even choosing to. And even I've not got any notifications on my phone for news, for whatever, but guaranteed I keep getting things popping up, the desktop. I didn't want to see that. Why it's popping up on my phone, I don't know. Maybe I need to address my technical settings, but for some reason it keeps coming up. But I don't actually connect with it. I see BBC, something, I don't look. I won't look. And then I'll search for something that is positive. So, you know, keep searching for the positives, keep like cheering on this good news, share the good news. If you see something that's good and you think, oh, brilliant, then share that. You know, like there was the old man that did all the walk round.
What a great story that was.
Yeah, him. I think he's called Tom. Something like that. But yeah, he walked round and nearly, I think, what was it, 5 million?
100 times, and he's raised now, I think, over 12 million pounds.
Wow! See, amazing.
And he's 100 years old or 99 years old, one of the two.
Yeah, things like this. There's so much nice stuff going on, so much. So yeah, share that and keep focusing on feeding your mind with the positive stuff. So as we know, I'm not going to harp on about the not watching the news, but you know, at times you need to, but be mindful of that. So search for the positives. And then 3 is, and I'm going to do a little post on this actually, is about connecting with those people that lift your spirits. Those, I call them fountains. Connect with your fountains. Keep those ones that do uplift you. And whether that's a phone conversation or a Zoom or just an email, whatever, they don't have to be here. I've got one of my fountains is in Australia, but we'll send little voice messages or something, or, you know, but those ones that lift your spirits, keep connecting with those at the moment.
So the 3 things are gratitude, search for the positive news, and connect to your fountains of people that will lift your spirits up. Yeah, really good answers. So we've covered the 3 topics today, but Kay has just come in with a question that I don't want to dodge around, where she says she misses her routine so much, and her son is also really struggling. Each day's feeling just a bit like a slog, and finding it hard to make that initial effort to turn a class on and just do the class. What's the best way to give herself a push first thing in the morning?
Oh, a motivation. Well, maybe if she started setting her goals the night before. I find quite a few people like that, because in the morning sometimes you're not fully motivated, but actually if you've got to the end of the day like today and you're thinking, oh, I just don't feel it, right, tomorrow I need to get on it. So you then plan in advance. You can have a look at the timetable of what you guys have got on at the moment and your gym. Think, right, we're going to do this. You make a pact with your son, right? It's a deal. Yep. If I don't want to do it, you make me do it. Yep. and vice versa. Yeah, we need to be in on this together. And you set the goal the night before. So you're doing it every night. You set your 3 goals, right? I'm going to do such and such a class at this time. We're going to do that at that time. And also search back at what has helped you in the past. When you was motivated, what was you doing? Was you speaking with certain people that were uplifting you, keeping you motivated? Who was that? Maybe give them a phone chat, maybe ask them for a bit of advice. Yeah, so remember, if you have been motivated in the past and you was doing it, which I think you was by the sounds of it, what was helping you now? And I know you might say, well, my PT sessions or, but there's ways of still connecting with people to give you that motivation.
Yeah, and I would add on to that and say routines are really good. Setting the routine the day before and having, we plan out our day the day before in terms of what we're doing and when we're doing it. And it's not like a 10 past you will do this. It's a rough AM time that you'll do this, and then it's a PM time that you'll do that. You've got your son, who's obviously, he's also really struggling, is make small promises and keep them to each other. And it doesn't have to be a promise of like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to walk 50,000 steps. It might be a little promise that I'm going to make you, I'll make you that cup of tea, or I'll do tea today at this time. And, make small promises to each other and keep them, but also make them to yourself. So, for example, if you're saying, right, I find it hard to turn a class on at the moment. We're doing the Zoom classes now where we want to see you on those classes. So come and join us with them and make those little small promises. It's not a big thing to come and do the class, but make that promise that you're going to be there and be there. And just showing up is half the battle. And, we've got the tools to kind of motivate you. The other thing that you can do, if you're missing that routine, is we know, and it's been all over the news, that we're probably going to be in this for another 3 weeks at least. There's no reason why you can't have little goals to set yourself. You might be doing 5,000 steps a day and you could up it by 1,000, over the next week. And that's a little small goal. There might be things, like we've started cooking different recipes, to mix things up a little bit. And yes, it's not something that is something that we do probably day in, day out in our normal life routine, but it's fun to do right now. So, there's times where you wouldn't be able to do these things, but you can now, and you can always factor them into your routine. If I text Cara, actually, mine last night, and said, okay, so tomorrow I'm going to train in the morning, and then I'm going to have my first meal and shower and then work for a couple of hours, and then food, chill, and write a shopping list. And then I'm going to come and do this one-to-one, and then I'm going to work again, and then I'm going to go to Tesco. I'm going to go work again for an hour, walk the dog, come back, have a bit of Lucozade, do the class tonight, and then do some food and go to bed. And that's like 5 or 6 different things, but it's a little routine, that I've planned the routine. So Cara might plan tomorrow's routine. And it'll just go back into like that, and I think that's a really good way of doing it as well.
Yeah, I like how you've collaborated as well with Cara, and I think that's maybe what Kay needs to do with a son. Sit together and think, right, what healthy meals do we want to eat? What is our goal in this, and how can we achieve that? What are the barriers? Always ask that. What's holding me back from doing this? Right? How can we get over that? Then what's the solutions? Well, we're going to plan our shops. Like you say, we're going to plan, right, I want to try this nice new stir fry. Do you like stir fry? Right, let's get that in. Let's do this. And you plan it together. Plan what meals you would like to eat together if you was having your ideal meals, and plan what exercises you could do. And also, and also obviously honour the downtime, like you say, in the evening.
Honour that downtime and own it, because you might not get this amount of downtime again. So do what you want. She's put, thanks very much, and I hope we help. The last thing I would say to do it is I listened to a podcast the other day, a Nike one, talking about making sure it was a nutrition one, and it spoke about the things that you can eat every day, which will make you A, a lot healthier long term, but B, feel a lot better as well. And it was to eat your G-bombs. Okay, greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. 1 portion of each every day. You'll feel good. Feel a lot better. G-bombs.
G-bombs. Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. And again, we spoke about a little bit of healthy snacking before. Remember that nuts and seeds are quite high in calorific value if consumed a lot. So again, control on those.
Would you suggest? It's just a handful, isn't it? Really, as a snack.
Usually,
a palm.
Usually, what you would say is, if you look at the palm of your hand, if you wanted to have leafy greens and vegetables, the whole hand, and if you wanted proteins here, and if you wanted fats, look at your thumb. Okay,
that's a good one. I like that. And I was talking to a client the other day. She's also struggling weight wise, and she says what I struggle was she says my portion sizes. Now I will not claim to be a specialist in this area. This probably you'll be able to step in here, Rob, and you might say actually no, Amanda, you'll find that's wrong. But I was saying with what, and she said well with rice and pasta, and I said oh well from what I remember. I said, and it's quite surprising actually, because things like this, they go out of the system, don't they? When people are just cooking, eating, I don't know, you're just shoving, you don't know whether you're having double the amount or triple the amount that you should be having. But as for, I think it was the rule of thumb that I went many years ago for rice, and I find cups easier. Mm-hmm. For rice, just over 1/4 of a cup is 1 portion for a person. And for pasta, I think it was 3/4 of a cup. That's a portion for 1 person. So that could be quite helpful, but I don't know. It depends how many. Obviously, we know everybody's unique. It's what calories they need. And
depends how big your cup is as well. How big?
Pardon?
My cups are this big.
Exactly. Yeah. Is it a Starbucks one like this? I do pretend I'm at Starbucks, or is it a small one? But generally, I think there's a general mug size, isn't there? You can look.
Yeah. That you think.
Obviously. I wouldn't be saying, I think I've seen some of the guys in your gym, which are like, I don't think they'll be having 1/4 cup of rice. It's different courses for different people. Horses, as they say. But that could be helpful for some people that are trying to monitor their intake.
Well, good. Well, thank you so much for today and all the things. And here's a little present for you.
Oh, Jack. Oh, look at him. He's bored of us already. He's like, I just had a yawn.
Well, he's been outside. That's why he's panting, and he won't go and look himself a drink. He'll get himself a try and find the food first before he gets all the drinks. So thank you very much, Amanda, for your hints
thanks
today.
I hope it's helped.
What I'll do is I'll change the bio of this and speak about what and put in the bio, if you to watch this, this is what we talk about. Again, I'll upload this onto YouTube. So if you've got any friends or family members of anyone who's watching who think they would benefit from this, by all means, point them in the direction of our YouTube channel, and then you can look at Amanda's YouTube because she's got some cool little videos on there of like different things that will help you stay mentally strong, and that's what Amanda's here for with us every Thursday. Mm-hmm. If you are thinking that you need that extra time with Amanda, she's got a slot right after this where you can join her if you like. And Kay, if you're still watching and you want some more answers, then that slot's there. It's all included in your membership, so you're more than welcome to.
Yeah,
I know. Got it as well. Have you got one next week? Did you mention before as well?
Yes, yeah. There's a slot available next week at 10 a.m. If anybody would like that slot next week, then please send me an email, info@amandaenglishby.co.uk. That's info@amandaenglishby.co.uk. But also the other thing was, if you don't feel comfortable, I know some people are like, well, I don't really want some people don't want the Zoom thing. You can just call me. We can have coaching sessions over the phone. So even now, if like Kay, if you wanted to follow on this conversation on the phone, just give me a call. My business number is 07780 798 192. I'll pop it in the comments below. And then if anybody wants to, send me a text or they want to arrange a phone chat, then we can do that as well, other than a video one.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much again for today. Hope you have a nice rest of the day, and I'm sure we'll speak soon. And by all means, those things you say, and dropping the links into the group, drop them away.
Yeah, I'll do that now. Actually, I'll devise it. If nobody gives me a bell now, I'll wait by the phone. I'll get it on loud. But I'll start popping. Oh, hi, Cara. Hi, Jack again. Oh, look at it.
Still on FaceTime, yeah.
I'll pop it in the comments. Okay, but yeah, I will do a post about the children's book because I think it's so important for them at the moment, isn't it? And I know parents, any extra help they can get, the better, eh?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, thank you for everything that you do, and we'll speak to
welcome.
you later on in the day.
You shall.
See you
All right,
later.
take care. Thank you,
Bye.
Rob. Bye-bye.